Hello, we are going to start with type 1 and type 2 errors today. We have seen what is hypothesis and how to write a null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis in the previous session. So let us now see the types of errors that we would use when we are which is necessary for us to understand when we are solving hypothesis testing. So let us begin. Uh, So type 1, we have two types of tests. One is two types of errors. One is type 1 error, another one is type 2 error. So type 1 error will occur when the null hypothesis is true, but we are rejecting it. Okay. So, and it is represented by alpha. Okay. Alpha is also called level of significance. Alpha is also called level of significance, and type 2 error is the one where the null hypothesis is false but we are accepting it. So that is represented by beta. So if the null hypothesis is true and we are accepting it, that is the right decision. So we are not bothered about that. And when H0 is false and we are rejecting it, that is also a right decision. But the problem occurs when we are trying to accept something which is not correct, which is not true, and we are trying to reject something which is true. Okay, so when we are trying to accept something which is false, then it becomes very disastrous. For example, in statistical quality control, if the item is supposed to be rejected, it is defective and it is supposed to be rejected, we are accepting it. Okay, we are letting it process the quality assurance procedure. So in that case, once the item goes into the market and the consumer purchases the product and the item is not working properly, then what happens? Okay, so that becomes disastrous, and the person probably in the digital era, he is making video and posting it and defaming the name of the organization. So it becomes bad publicity for the organization. So it might become very disastrous. So beta error becomes very disastrous, but alpha could be controlled to a extent. Okay, so once again, when H0 is true and we are rejecting H0, but the decision is to reject H0, then type 1 error is committed, and that error is denoted by alpha. When H0 is false and we accept that false decision, then we are committing type 2 error, which is denoted by beta. Now, alpha is also called level of significance level. Okay, and the value of this level of significance lies between 0 and 1 because it is the probability. So here refers to the probability of rejecting null hypothesis that is true. Okay, so this is alpha, definition of level of significance. Okay, and the range which we consider for level of significance will be 5% to 10% when we are solving the problems. Okay, that means we are giving 5% probability for an error to occur when we are testing hypothesis in any scenario. Okay, so it could be 5%, it could be 10%, depending on what is being asked and what we are, depending on the context of the problem, we will change the values of level of significance. And most of the times the level of significance is taken as 5%. Then we have one tail test and two tail test. So let us consider an example. H0 null hypothesis, mu is equals to 100. I am taking the population mean is equals to 100. Okay, that means the population, this is the sample mean, that and what I am trying to say is there is no significant difference between the population mean and the estimated population mean. Okay, then my alternate hypothesis will have three ways of writing, could be written in three ways. One is mu not equal to 100, or it could be mu less than 100, or it could be mu greater than 100. Okay, so in this case, in in this first case, if I want to draw a graph, okay, and I want to test it, this is my graph. I'm taking a normal distribution graph, and I have a not equal to symbol. Okay, so I don't know which part where the error region is. I don't know if it is towards the left hand side or the right hand side. So what I'll do, I'll divide my error region, critical region. Alpha is also called critical region. I'll divide this region into two equal halves. Let me consider it as 5%. So this is going to be 2.5% now each side, which is 0.025. Okay, so this part is 0.025, this part is 0.025. Okay, if my h naught, value of h naught falls in the, now this area is called the rejection region. Okay, and the remaining part is called the acceptance region. Okay, and the rejection region is denoted by alpha. Now if the calculated value, the value which I calculate with the help of the formula, falls in the acceptance region, then I accept h naught. If it falls in the rejection region, either in the region, then I reject h naught. Okay, so that is two-tailed test. Now coming to one-tailed test. Okay, now consider this scenario. Now if I draw a graph here, this is mu is less than 100. So it has to be left hand side, right? If you remember the normal distribution tables, normal distribution curve, this is towards the left hand side. So this part is the rejection region for one-tailed test, and this is the acceptance region. Okay, now because it is specifically towards the left hand side of the curve, we can call it as left tail test. Okay, and this is rejection, this is the alpha, the area covered is 0.05. Okay, and the remaining 0.95 is the acceptance region, remaining area, and you know the total area is equals to 1, right? Now if I want to test another alternate hypothesis, for example, if I want to see mu is greater than 100, so the graph is going to be, the rejection region is going to be on the right side. This is the rejection region, and this is going to be the acceptance region. Okay, if h naught falls here, we are accepting h naught. If it falls in this region, we are rejecting h naught. Okay, so basically we are trying to judge whether to accept h naught or reject h naught based on the part in which the value h, the calculated value, falls. Now there are, in one tail test you have left tail test and you have right tail test. In two tail test you have only one scenario when mu is not equal to mu naught. Here left tail test, mu is less than mu naught. The condition would be mu is less than mu naught, and for right tail test, mu greater than mu naught. Now these are just examples. We cannot say this is going to happen, but the condition is, if in words, if I say if I say h naught, there is no significant difference between the mean values of two classes, is my h naught, that is mu of one class, mean marks of one class is equals to mean marks of other class. Okay, that means there is no significant difference. This mean value is same and this mean value is same. Okay, my alternate hypothesis could be mean values are not equal, mean values of one class is greater than class 2, or mean values of class 1 are is less than mean values of class 2. So these three situations could occur. So when these are occurring, how will you solve them? What kind of test will you use is important. So this is the basis for the problems which we are going to solve in future. If you have any problems, if you did not understand the concept, or if you have any doubts, please post in the group and we'll take it from there. Thank you.